So here's a wild story for you. Reproducing robots. You heard that correctly. It's not a science fiction movie. It is a reality now. RT's Natasha Sweet explains this exciting breakthrough.
Regenerative medicine might see a boost in technology, including advanced cancer treatment. It's all thanks to frog stem cells shaped by artificial intelligence.
Living robots being able to reproduce might sound scary, but the thought of them being able to kill cancer cells could be a game changer. These Xenobots were designed on a supercomputer at the University of Vermont, and then biologists at Tufts University brought them to life. Researchers from both UVM and Tufts University were able to obtain living cells from frog embryos, repurpose them, and assemble them into new forms of life. Scientists behind the creation say they were not considered a robot nor a species of animal, but a new class of artifact. They call it a living programmable organism. These Xenobots move toward a target and have the capability to actually heal themselves after being cut. The findings were published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. The study touches on how replication has evolved into many forms. While some involve growth within the body or organism like humans, self-replication is able to assemble material in their environment and turn it into functional self-copies. The Xenobots are able to do the latter. Once these Xenobots find the cells, they are able to build copies of themselves. Joshua Bongard, a computer scientist part of the study, says with the right design, they will spontaneously self-replicate. So far, scientists envision several uses for these self-replicating organisms. They believe it could be useful for searching out radioactive contamination, gathering plastic pollution from oceans, and in the world of medicine, traveling through arteries to scrape out plaque. But that's not all. Some researchers believe these Xenobots could also be programmed to kill cancer cells and make headway in anti-aging medicine.
Well, scientists part of the study believe the AI behind the Xenobots might be part of the solution in finding a more effective vaccine for the coronavirus. Reporting from Los Angeles, Natasha Sweet, RT.
All right, so joining us now to discuss all things Xenobots and the future of robotics, we have Ian Kahn. He's an emerging technology futurist. Ian, great to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
So I think of like The Matrix, like all those robotic movies where all of a sudden it goes too far and they take over humans. I mean, looking at this technology, while it is great, could there be any problems, let's say in the future, as you are a technology futurist?
With every technological breakthrough or a new invention, there's always chances that things will go in the wrong direction. I mean, with these robots and this new idea where science is making a breakthrough, it's still very early days. Imagine people and mankind finding out, discovering fire, and then thinking, well, what could we use fire for? We could use it for so many applications. It is still very early days when these microorganisms or cellular structures are making a movement, they're doing a certain thing, and we're talking about many different cures of diseases and so on. Absolutely, in the next 20 plus years, that might be possible, but there's also risks of the experiments going wrong. We're not putting ourselves on the path of doing the right thing. So the risk is always there with science and technology and innovation, like with anything else.
And, there are going to be, let's say, we're in 2021 right now. Who knows, probably in 10 years' time, they'll have the cure for cancer with these robots being able to scrape it out or the plaque from your arteries. But, you do have some of those people that have kind of a problem with, kind of tech infiltrating medicine. I mean, you even have people out there that are very much against, let's say putting a pig kidney in a human. Do you see kind of a lot of pushback once this new technology starts to emerge that could possibly really benefit your health?
I think with anything in today's date and age, there's a push. There are people with certain religious affirmations, with certain beliefs, and they believe in some things that everybody else doesn't. It's just like the previous story you covered about Facebook. Some people love Facebook, some hate it, and you can't help but people have a right to express themselves. I really believe there's a chance for dialogue. There's an opportunity to talk about things and see how they develop. There are many people who need critical health care. They need a cure for diseases like cancer and different types of forms of cancer that are evolving and much more. Think about countries where healthcare is not accessible and how technology has helped us find cures where there was no cure. So we absolutely cannot undermine the role of technology in helping us get where we are and get us to the future. But we have to do it responsibly. There has to be clinical trials when this thing develops, and I'm giving it a 20+ year time frame. I think there's a long path ahead with clinical trials, approvals, interactions, and where it can go. It's something very similar to cloning, which took off in the 80s, but we're not cloning anybody right now. So it's still ways ahead of where we need to be.
And, I have one side, it's all lawyers, one side, it's all doctors. I know, for example, you have the Da Vinci machine where it's almost like playing a video game where it helps, with doctors as far as any shaking or what have you. So there are benefits with the technology as far as our health. But the difference is, though, is that's like playing a video game. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It can't reproduce. Is it a good thing that this thing knows how to reproduce itself? I got about 40 seconds. I'm giving it to you.
So right now, all the reproduction it's not programmed. These things don't have a mind of their own. This is being done in a petri dish at a molecular level. So these things are not becoming giant monsters yet. But AI is helping design how they function, how they perform. And honestly, this is at a molecular level right now.
All right, so no time to panic, folks. Ian Khan, emerging technology futurist. Great to see you again. Thanks so much.
The Da Vinci surgical system is the most advanced platform for minimally invasive surgery available in the world today. The integration of high-resolution 3D vision, wristed instruments, and intuitive motion control enable the Da Vinci surgeon to transcend the limitations of conventional surgical technologies. 3 network components comprise the Da Vinci surgical system: an ergonomic surgeon's console, a patient-side cart with 4 interactive robotic arms, and a high-definition 3D vision system. Seated at the console, the Da Vinci surgeon views a remarkably clear 3D image of the surgical field. The system scales, filters, and translates the movements of the surgeon's hands on the master controllers to 4 interactive robotic arms on the patient cart. The precisely controlled micro-movements of the Da Vinci instruments are enabled by the computer processors of the system. These dedicated processors perform millions of safety checks over the course of a procedure for enhanced surgical precision and control. Da Vinci EndoWrist instruments are designed with a unique wristed architecture that provides 7 degrees of freedom for a range of motion greater than even the human wrist. This proprietary design enables surgical maneuvers impossible with conventional laparoscopic tools. The system requires that every surgical maneuver is under the direct control of the surgeon. Redundant safety checks prevent autonomous movement of the instruments or the robotic arms. The Da Vinci S surgical system moves surgery forward with a new level of technical capability that enables minimally invasive surgery in complex procedures as never before. Da Vinci provides a streamlined surgical experience that benefits the hospital, the surgeon, the OR team, and, most importantly, the patient.